My name is Ashley, and I left home with just a backpack to discover Brazil. For 4 months, I'm exploring incredible places, learning new cultures, and sharing it all with you. In today's episode, we're diving into life in the favela. When you hear the word favela, what comes to mind? For many, it's danger, poverty, and crime. That's the stereotype often shown in movies or in the media. But today, I'm here in Rocinha, the largest favela in Rio, to show you a different story, a story about community, culture, and resilience. Good morning, everyone! Welcome to a favela tour. Our journey began at the entrance of Rocinha, where we met our tour guide and the rest of the group. The energy was high, the sun was shining, and the streets were bustling with people. I could not wait to dive into this experience. This is Rocinha, the largest favela in Rio. As we walked deeper into the favela, the first thing that really stood out to me was the electricity. This insane tangle of wires that seems to stretch everywhere. At first, it looks like chaos, but it's actually a functioning system. It works because people in the community have learned how to tap into the main electrical grid, sharing power across homes and businesses, but it also comes with risks. Our guide explained that because it's not a formal setup, things like power outages or even electrical fires can happen. Still, seeing how they've made it work was inspiring. Speaking of our guide, let me introduce you to him.
Hi guys, are you okay? Welcome to Favela da Rocinha. Welcome to the biggest favela in Latin America. I'm Alison. I am 24 years old and I live here in my whole life. I born and raised in this place, and now I have this amazing group for presenting my reality, and let's go.
Alison grew up here in Rocinha. He told us that life in the favela is nothing like the stereotypes. He spoke with so much pride about his community, and it was clear that he truly loves where he comes from. If you ever want to experience this for yourself, I'd highly recommend booking a tour with him. You can find him on Instagram at Favela Guide.
The first favela is downtown, close to Pedra do Sal in Rio. The name is Babylon. It's the first favela in Brazil. Now, in this moment, there are 700 favelas in Rio de Janeiro, and this is the biggest one. There are a lot of favelas here. And favela means this thing, a plant who lives in a severe atmosphere on a hill and a hot weather. So it look like my life, like live on a hill and try to survive because there are a lot of inequalities, social inequalities.
One thing Allison emphasized was how safe he feels in his own community. He told us that he feels far safer walking through Rocinha than he would in Copacabana. Why? Because the favela has its own rules, enforced by local gangs. The mafia here ensures that no one robs, steals, or harms anyone within the favela. If you break these rules, the consequences are harsh. You might lose your hand, or worse. It's intense, but it creates a sense of order. People here look out for each other. That said, all favelas are different. Just because Rocinha operates this way doesn't mean others do. And while it's safe for the people who live there, you can't just wander in alone as a tourist. You need to go with someone like Allison, who knows the community and its rules. Oh, and filming is heavily restricted. We weren't allowed to film everywhere, especially near areas controlled by gangs. It's about protecting their privacy and avoiding trouble with the police. And this view, guys, this view is massive. One of my favorite moments of this whole tour was the motorcycle ride to Rocinha's highest point. The narrow, winding roads were an adventure in themselves, but the view at the top was breathtaking. On one side, you see the dense, colorful homes of the favela. On the other, the glamorous skyline of Rio. It's a contrast that makes you think. Favela, city. Favela, city.
It's possible to see Christ the Redeemer on the left, the most high hill.
How did you find the trip here with the motorcycles?
With the motorcycle, I loved it. I like always take motorbikes.
Yeah?
Especially up here. That was so fun.
It's a bit scary coming up here with the motorcycle because they do not care.
They do
go
not
really
care.
fast.
They go really fast. Have you done something like that before?
No, not really.
No? How do you like it?
Yeah, he was just talking shit about the team. I like my football team.
1 to 10 rated.
It's a good 10. It's a good 10. It's amazing.
Yeah?
I mean, tour guide is amazing.
Amazing. Later, we had the chance to see Capoeira in action at a local studio in the favela. Capoeira isn't just a dance or a martial art, it's a symbol of resistance, created by enslaved Africans in Brazil as a way to fight back against their oppressors. Forced to disguise it as a dance, they used capoeira to maintain their strength and unity while under the watchful eyes of their masters. Over time, it evolved into a blend of movement, music, and culture, becoming a form of self-expression and a tool for resistance. Watching the performers move was like watching history come alive. The music was just as captivating, with instruments like the berimbau, a single-string bow, and the atapucoe drum setting the rhythm. It's hard to put it into words, but it felt powerful and emotional, like a celebration of freedom. In this studio, capoeira is a way to keep the kids in the favela busy, giving them an outlet for energy and creativity while also teaching them discipline and unity. I was invited to give it a try, but let's just say, I failed miserably. It's way harder than it looks. After the capoeira session, the music changed, and suddenly it was samba time. Everyone joined in, spinning, clapping, laughing. It didn't matter if you couldn't dance. The vibe was everything. So what view of favela did you have before you came here, and what has changed?
So I thought like it's gonna be really dangerous. Like even coming in, people live like really miserably. Now, like that he explained everything, at least in this favela that we went to,
Yeah, Rocinha.
things just work. Like they work pretty well.
Right?
They have like a really tight knit community, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I thought it would be definitely dirtier, but streets are pretty clean. People
Yeah.
are actually pretty nice. I think like the way the guide said it, I kind of knew before, but it's safer here than to be in, for example, Copacabana.
Yeah?
It works like a lot better than what I thought. Like it doesn't smell bad.
Water is free, electricity is free, so it's nice.
The people like help out each other. You know.
But of course, life in the favela isn't perfect. Alison explained that one of the biggest challenges is education. Many people don't have access to proper schooling, which creates gaps in knowledge. For example, he mentioned that if there is a fire, some might try to put it out with water without knowing how dangerous that can be. It's little things like this that highlight the need for better education.
The government tried to provide some basic things for us. So in this place have a lot of schools for the kids, for teenagers. The education is not so good, but it's enough for you understand how the world
basics,
works.
yeah.
For you go and be honest people and be morality and ethnic knowledge. So it's enough. And about hospitals, there are 3 big hospitals inside the favela, the Rocinha. Everybody is free. So if you need a treatment or some disease, it's possible to come here for give a free treatment. And there are sports, there are a lot of things here. Just come.
Yes, last question. What is your favorite thing about Rocinha? What do you love the most?
For me, the history about Rocinha is the most important thing.
Yeah.
A lot of honest people try to survive and change your life about honest way. We have a lot of cultural things, art, sport, people with a lot of talent, not only in sport like football, but in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Capoeira, swimming, basketball. It's a place with a lot of talented people. So you need to come for you see if your eyes. We ended the day with a meal at a small local restaurant, and it was the perfect way to wrap up our visit. Sitting there, eating delicious food and chatting with our group, I felt a sense of connection to the people, to the place, and to this incredible experience. Before this visit, I thought I knew what a favela was, but Rocinha showed me a completely different side, a community full of resilience, joy, and hope. It's not without its challenges, but it's so much more than the stereotypes. If you ever have the chance to visit, do it, but go with an open heart and an open mind. I promise it will change the way you see the world.